everybody, it's Sarah from Adventures with Sarah, and I'm here today to do a little roundup on what I think are the best travel shoes that are available right now in 2023. So this is information good for 2023 and probably 2024. You can find most of these shoes available at Amazon and also through the links in this YouTube channel. So let's go ahead and have a look. First of all, just to give you a sense of my priorities. I always suggest you take at least 2 pairs of shoes when you travel. If you've watched my other travel videos, you know that I'm really in favor of packing light. So you should weigh your shoes. You should make sure that you take the most lightweight and comfortable shoes that you can find. The weight in your backpack or your rolly bag generally comes from 2 things. It comes from either your toiletries or it comes from your shoes. So if you're able to really trim down the amount of weight with your shoes, you're going to end up being able to bring as much as you want. Let's say that extra dress you want or that extra pair of shorts or something that you really want to bring. I bring a pillow actually with the extra weight I save by not bringing heavy shoes. So that's one of the main priorities for me when I'm checking shoes out on the market. Most of these are road tested, so I thought I'm going to give you a roundup of what I thought were the most successful shoes in the last few months that I've tried. And so the first thing we're going to talk about here is sandals. Now, I just want you to know I have very big feet. I have a size 12. All of these are size 12 or in some cases 43s. So that means that everything I recommend is available in multiple sizes. So I'm going to go back to my classic, the one that I recommend more than any other shoe. This is called the Teva Mush. And the Teva Mush, unfortunately, is kind of going out of style here. If I've been looking on the websites and they're stopping production on these, you can still get them in just plain black. These are quite old, but they've held up so well. They've got to be at least 6 or 7 years old. The way they fail when they fail is right here. They start coming apart, and you can see this one, which is quite old, is coming apart. But that's okay. I took these with me to the Blue Lagoon in Iceland recently. I also took them to Thailand recently. And why do I suggest these? Well, first of all, it's a flip-flop. You can slide them onto your feet really easily. Also, they're just made of foam, so they're super duper lightweight. This is the lightest weight pair of shoes that I recommend. And also, they're a little bit of a wedge. Now, I know that most women like to wear a little bit of a heel because they might be vertically challenged. I am 6'2" and I don't need height, but I love wearing a wedge because it's a little bit dressier looking. And I can kind of get away with this pair of shoes on my feet while I wear a dress. So I highly recommend these ones. They look cute on. They're great for every activity. I've swam in the sea with them on. I don't think I'd go hiking with them. You can see the bottom is pretty slick and over time gets slicker, but they are my most versatile spare pair of shoes. So if you're looking for a third pair, this is probably the one I would recommend. Teva Mush Mandolin Wedges. Now, a pair of flip-flops, an alternate that I have for you. These ones I purchased in Hawaii last year. They're also very well used, as you can see. They're Olukais. Olukais are very, very popular in Hawaii. You can see they have a molded footbed. They also have a little bit more of a grippy sole. They are very, very comfortable, I think. They don't have any kind of wedge. The heel is pretty much just flat. I really like them because they do have a more supportive footbed since they do have a high arch here, which the other ones have no arch. So if you need arch support, these are pretty good. My only complaint with these is that over time, these have stretched right here. So they're a little bit bigger than they were when they started on me, and they're not super tight anymore. So they kind of are literally flipping and flopping around on my feet. So I love them. I think they're great. I do recommend them, but just be careful if you're really hard. I was doing gardening with these. I've been in and out of water with these. I don't know. They are really damaged now at this point, but still they're a usable shoe. These are about a year old and they're still a usable shoe. So Olukai's really good if you have some sort of issue with plantar fasciitis or low arches. All right, moving on. Another classic that I have used for quite a number of years that I've seen a lot of my travelers really like is this pair of Skechers. There is a link to this in the blog that I did recently, so if you'd like to get a pair, you can. These are wonderful because they're stretchy. They have this really nice stretchy kind of cord here, and that's really, really useful when you're in hot weather because in hot weather, your feet tend to swell. So I like having these because of that. They also have a really good grippy sole. See, that has more of a grippy tread on it than any other pair of shoes I've shown you. So if I were to go hiking, for example, maybe they're not the best hikers, probably Tevas would be better, but they're not terrible because they do have a good tread. The trade-off here is they are a little heavy, a little heavier than the other ones I'm showing you that are made of cork. I think all the other ones are either foam or cork. These are rubber, but they also have this nice kind of soft foamy rubber footbed as well, which is quite nice because it kind of molds to your foot, as you can see. So I've worn these quite a bit, and they're quite good, so I do recommend them. Let's see, in the new category, I just bought these recently. I saw them on Facebook, so they're brand new, and they are kind of cute. They're Bokina, I guess you could say. They're very comfortable, but they have no arch support, completely flat. They are made of cork with a rubber sole, so there's not a whole lot to them, but the style is quite cute, you know, because your toe goes in through here. The straps are pretty stretchy, so you kind of have a little bit of give. I would give these probably a 5 out of 10 just in terms of being like not maybe the most well-made shoe, but they are quite cute. And what I like about them is the sole is decently grippy and they're incredibly flat with both of them together. Look how little room they're going to take up in my bag. They're going to take up no room at all. So these would be an interesting idea for just an alternate pair of shoes from when your feet get tired of wearing anything else that you've brought with you. And they have tons of cute colors and different colorways and things like that. So I'll find a link for this one for you guys, but I give them a solid, yeah, maybe. I wish they were a little bit better made for the price, but they're fun, and the colors make them kind of interesting. They have different kind of strappy options as well. All right, and then to the investment shoes. These two pairs of shoes were actually quite a bit more expensive than the rest. All of these ones here were between $15, $20, and $50. These were actually the Olukais, I think, were more. I think they were more like $75. These pairs of shoes here are quite a bit more. We're talking over $100 for these pairs here. And you know what? You get what you pay for. So these two pairs are pretty well used, as you can tell. And they're two brands that I think you really should pay attention to, especially if you have foot issues. This one here is a Taos Shoe, Taos. And they are obviously well loved. This is my #1 sandal for travel right now, a top pick above everything else. Even though they have a wedge, which again, a lot of women like me like wedges at all. They make your legs look kind of sexy, actually. And they look kind of dressy. They don't weigh a lot because they're made of cork. So they have the rubber sole, although look how slick that is. That kind of sucks. I wish that it had a little bit more of a tread to it, but that's okay. They're really cute. And what I love is look how adjustable the straps are, right? So you have the strappy braided kind of piece, and these actually Velcro off. So if you are in a hot environment, doing this with one hand is not easy. There you go. If you're in a hot environment, you can retool the straps to be more appropriate for you, and the same here. Ugh, not easy with one hand, but you can see not only can you adjust like where that is, but then this pulls tight across the top of your foot or across your ankle as well. So they're fully adjustable. They apparently also have this same model in a shoe that has smooth rather than braided straps. So I highly recommend these. They're very comfortable. They come in lots of colors. Silver is an interesting color actually because it goes with literally everything. It's kind of like a black shoe. I was really surprised how well it goes with almost everything. So really, really comfortable, really easy to wear, and a good color that I think really matches everything and looks pretty dressy. So that's my top pick, the Taos shoe there. And again, you'll find this link in the comments here. We're gonna have the link to my spreadsheet so you can find exactly where to get those. And then this is a new one for me. I've only had these for a few months. I have not taken them on a trip yet, but these were from the community, the Adventures with Sarah travel community. If you haven't found us, you can find us over on Facebook. I did a survey and a lot of people came back with this shoe here. It's a naut, N-A-O-T. It's an Israeli brand, and they are very, very nicely built. They have a good grippy tread on the bottom. They have the cork footbed, which it makes them nice and light, plus a suede sort of liner, which makes them very comfortable on your feet. They're incredibly cute. The only thing I don't care for about these is look how they are not in any way adjustable. They're not adjustable at all across here. They're not adjustable really across the ankle because actually once I hook these, my ankles, maybe I'm just have fat ankles or something. I can barely close them. And also this is a 43, which should be a US 12. They're pretty small on my feet, actually. They should be more roomy, but as you can tell, my toes literally go to the edges here. And it feels like there should be more space than that. Other than that, what I love about them is they are, again, very flat. Look at that. If I put them together, kind of like these other ones over here, you can pack them super flat, and they are one of the lightest choices of any of the shoes that I have picked up. So I would say these, if I say this and this, Actually, they're about the same weight-wise. This might be slightly lighter. I like the color. The color is nice because then again, it goes with everything. And in the summertime when you're going to be traveling, you're probably going to go with lighter things like linen and such. And these leather shoes would look really good with that. Okay, so these are my top picks for women's sandals, and I've tried lots of brands. So above all, I would say the Taos ones, the Naut ones, and then the mandolin, the Tiva mesh mandolin. And then these other ones are great ones to try as well. So moving on to closed-toed shoes, I have a few different options for you. First of all, I finally got kind of bullied into buying these. Honestly, I kind of was not into them because I think they're weird looking. Look at the weird profile on the side. But everybody I know has been telling me the OnCloud shoes are the absolutely best shoes to buy. So eventually I found a pair that was on sale. I wasn't going to spend the $175 on a pair straight up because, you know. So I found a pair at the rack on clearance because they're a little bit of an odd color. And you know what? I'm ashamed to admit, I love them. They are so comfortable. And they're very, very light. They're one of the lightest tennis shoes that I've been able to find. They're reasonably supportive, although honestly, I would probably replace this inner sole, but I don't think it comes out. I have heard that some of the people from our community have done that, but as I'm kind of digging in here, oh, I guess you can pull it out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would probably take these out and put in better orthotics because these are honestly pretty flimsy. But I wear these running. They're not really the best for running shoes, but they're good walking shoes. I wore them to Disneyland for 2 days, and it was a lot of walking. I think I walked probably 15 to 16 miles a day. They were just fine. And they also got really wet on Splash Mountain, and then they dried out pretty fast. So I would say 5 stars to these ones. These get a big thumbs up. They have lots of other colorways too if you don't like the teal. But yeah, I get it. You guys are all right. Everybody's been telling me about OnCloud shoes for a long time. Yeah, you're correct. Last year's pick, which you might remember, was this one here, which was New Balance Fresh Foam. I still do recommend these just because New Balance is wonderful about having extended sizes and good shoes for people with their own orthotics or kind of problem feet, especially wide and narrow sizes they usually have. This particular model came in a few different cute colors. This was just a plain gray. The other one that I loved was black and had leopard skin on the back, and I still use those. But here's what I wanted to show you as an update. The sole on the inside, you can't actually get out. It doesn't come out, this particular model. And this has compacted a lot. So they are not supportive really at all anymore. So still love this shoe, very cute and incredibly light. It is way lighter actually even than these. This is the lightest walking shoe that I think I have ever found. But you have to remember, if you buy these, they're only going to last you a season. They're not going to last you more than a year probably. I think at this point, even though they look good still, I could just toss them in the washing machine. I think that the sole is too compacted really to wear for travel at least, maybe just to garden in or something like that. So just as a little update. All right, and then over to my absolute loves here, Allbirds, which I am finally recommending this year, and I have some links for you in that blog post. Allbirds, they're just great. And of course, probably the reason I think that is that I have extremely cold feet. I have very, very bad circulation, and my feet are always frozen. These shoes are made of boiled wool, so that means that they're cozy all the time. So I love these ones. These are the Mizzles. The Mizzles are perfect for people from Seattle like myself because they are water resistant-ish. They say waterproof, but I don't believe that. They're water resistant. And they have a non-skid sole, although, you know, maybe not as grippy as it could be, but it's okay. They're not super light, but, you know, it's okay when you travel to bring a pair of shoes that's heavier and you just wear them on the plane. You know, you don't pack them. So these Mizzles are pretty versatile. I would say these would be great for Ireland. They'd be great for Iceland. They'd be great for Scotland, any kind of place you're going to have kind of inconsistent weather. This would be a nice choice. Now, one of the things they do advertise is that this merino wool is comfortable even in the heat. Nope. Big nope. Not for me. I found that these make my feet really, really hot in the summertime. So I personally would not recommend them. I took them to Egypt a couple of years ago. They were fine for the first few days, and then I had to put them away because they were too hot. But the nice thing is, you see how the insole is also made of wool. It's got a wool liner. That means you don't have to wear socks. And I actually hate wearing socks. I've got some weird neuropathy issues in my feet, and socks drive me crazy. So these are wonderful because they don't require socks, and they don't actually get too too stinky unless it's summertime. If they do get stinky, you can also just throw them into the washing machine. These have been washed once in the washing machine. They turn out fine. So a couple different models here. This is the Mizzle. This is, I can't remember the name. I think it's just the slip-on. They also have the Runner, which is kind of a cross between these two, kind of the smoother, more light wool, but then also lace up. So these ones have been a lot of fun. They do have lots of sizes. They go up to a men's 14. I wear a women's 12, and so these actually are a men's 10, I believe, because I just go ahead and I pick up the men's styles instead, because the women's styles only go to an 11, but this looks like a women's shoe if you ask me. And you might think, well, red, that's a crazy color to choose for a travel shoe, but actually, you'd be really surprised. I wore these all spring, and they were very weirdly neutral. They look great with jeans. I brought a couple of red tank tops, things that can go under, so I would layer my black outfits and white outfits and gray outfits with red, so there's just a little hint of red. And they went with everything, actually. So kind of a fun, unusual color choice that is more versatile than you might think. All right, so those are my closed-toed shoes options. And then I've got a pair of shoes that are great for anybody who's going hiking, going to Scotland, going to Iceland, any place where you're going to be around rain. These are Columbia boots that I just bought recently. And again, like I said, I have a 12, size 12, and Columbia is one of the few shoe companies that makes my size. Like Merrell does not make my size. So these are a women's 12. They were very, very roomy. They've got excellent grip. The lace up is kind of annoying, you know, with the little hooks on the side. Kind of reminds me of ice skates from when I was a kid. But the inside is nice. They do have a removable insole here, but I thought that the insole was adequate. If you wanted to put in your own orthotics, you could. But they are waterproof. So they're suede and rubber, but they are waterproof. And I was really impressed with how warm they were. They were absolutely fantastic for Iceland. We did a lot of walking and hiking and going through places with water everywhere, and they still look good, and they kept my feet cozy, and they were really, really comfortable. So for a waterproof boot, highly recommend. The only downside, they're not super light. However, on the scale of waterproof hiking boots, they aren't bad, actually. They're less than a pound each, which is pretty impressive considering that they are kind of a technical shoe like this. So yeah, I give these a thumbs up. And again, you'll find the recommendation and the link for these in the blog that is attached to this video. Alrighty then, we're gonna move on to a couple pairs that I have not tried yet. They just arrived in the mail, and I'm very excited about giving them a shot. These ones are called Revere. This is from the Walking Company. I ordered these from them. And the Walking Company is a great place to look for shoes, especially if you have special needs. But these ones here are supposed to be really, really good as a supportive walking shoe. So these are going to be the ones I take with me this summer to Ireland and to Italy. And they're very soft, super well made. And they have nice orthotics on the inside. You could, again, replace those with super feet if you want. But look, they're really soft suede. They're great, and they also don't have like tie-up laces. It's like bungee kind of laces, which is an easy on, easy off situation. And again, silver might seem like a weird choice, but in Italy, can you not imagine an Italian woman wearing these? I sure can. This would be something that they would wear, and this could go with everything. It could go with the dress even, I think, because it's a little bit cute and stylish. So highly excited about these. Don't know if they're gonna be perfect, but the reviews on them are very, very solid because they are kind of an orthotic walking shoe. I mean, they're kind of like a podiatrist recommended walking shoe, but they don't look ugly. And that's the thing, is a lot of times shoes that are made for people with problematic feet, they're ugly. And these are not. I think these are quite cute. So I'll give you an update on those, but these are going to be my summer walking shoes. And then one more pair of shoes, which are actually men's, but were given to me as a sample. I'm going to try these out because I don't have any man in my family who has a foot that can fit into these. But these are a fun shoe that I'm excited to try, and I might even take these with me to Italy. But I can already recommend them because they are super duper light. Look at these. They weigh nothing, and they're kind of a nice dressy shoe. So if you're going somewhere and you like kind of I like wearing kind of men's trousers and kind of things, so these could work for women, but these would be great for men. They're all like a knitted top, and a rubber sole, and they weigh absolutely nothing. Look at that. They're just flopping around in my hands. I mean, these weigh probably the same as a pair of sandals. And that's pretty impressive for a shoe that is a good walking shoe that's also lightweight. So if you're traveling with a man, or you are a man watching this and you're looking for some recommendations, I do like these and I'm excited about them. And the name again is OAKA. OAKA, that's the name of the shoe brand. They're one of these direct-to-consumer shoe brands. And yeah, I'm feeling good about those. So kind of a cross between a tennis shoe and a dress shoe. I mean, this would be great if you're traveling in Italy. Breathable, lightweight, and perfect for traveling and looking stylish at the same time. All right. So I hope these shoe recommendations have been helpful for you. Every year I recommend different ones. So if you're curious about what else I have recommended in the past, you can go to my website at adventureswithsarah.net and just put into the search bar shoes. And you're gonna see I've done masses of research. I've done spreadsheets on them, weighing their different weights, looking at different brands. So please go ahead and have a look there. And if you have a favorite travel shoe that I didn't cover, please go ahead and mention that in the comments so that you can help other travelers who are finding this video as well. So thanks for joining me for our annual travel shoe update. And if I have anything else that I come up with, I'll go ahead and add it in the comments to this later on. But happy travels with your wonderful, comfortable shoes.